Okay. All right, you guys, it's Thursday night team call night. We are starting something new because I have new team t-shirts with our updated team name. And so what we're going to do is periodically for team calls, we are going to pick a random winner to get a free team t-shirt so that by the time Summit comes around, hopefully everybody will have one and you won't have to buy one. So tonight's winner was Beth. She was the one drawn out of all the names of people on the call. And then we'll also consider doing drawings or some sort of using them as incentives for team trainings, or we'll figure out ways to make you can earn a team t-shirt. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, and she's going to cover some stuff for us, and then I'll chime in.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for getting on tonight, guys. And you know what, first thing I wanted to do, Christy, I don't know you very well, but I have seen your pictures on Facebook, and girlfriend, you look phenomenal and have done an amazing job on your transformation. So I just wanted to give her a shout out because I saw her on here tonight, and it's amazing stuff. So keep up the great work. Very proud of you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. So I wanted to cover just a couple of things tonight, just because I feel like there's been so many things thrown at us, from Beachbody, some changes that are going on. And, for people who are veteran coaches, we may kind of understand this stuff a little bit more, but those of you who are new may not kind of be quite in the know of everything that's going on and understand some of these changes and how it relates to us in our business. So the first thing I wanted to touch on, if you guys have seen it, is that Beachbody will be closing in the spring. Now, at first, everybody's like, oh my God, Beachbody's done. No, there are actually two companies actually three, really. There's three companies within Beachbody. One is Beachbody, one is Team Beachbody, and one is Beachbody Live. So there's kind of three different platforms that Beachbody has utilized over the years. And Beachbody was the original company, which was the infomercials, and really how they started the Beachbody business with doing the infomercials and selling the DVDs, putting those infomercials on TV and people calling in, and then on the computer, ordering online. And then as technology and things have evolved over time, different changes have occurred. One being the addition of Team Beachbody. And that's kind of, Tammy can even talk about that and how that kind of started and really got in the works, because when people were doing the DVD workouts, there were message boards that people were using online. So we're going back pre-Facebook era. And so 2002. So on the chats on the Beachbody website, people would go on and almost form this support system in this community. And, Carl and all the corporate people started to realize, wow, okay, wait a minute. These people are getting other people to buy the products because they're sharing their results. They're talking about what's working, what's not working, and all of that. And so kind of Cliff Notes version, they ended up developing Team Beachbody because of that and making it into a network marketing company. So people who were doing kind of this work of sharing the products could actually get some kind of financial benefit from it. So their goal over time was to hopefully have Team Beachbody outperform Beachbody. And it's funny, Tammy and I were talking about this a couple of days ago, where I remember sitting at a summit, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, where when they were doing a presentation with corporate, they were talking about how for the first time in that particular year, Team Beachbody outperformed Beachbody. And they were so super excited about that, because that was really what their goal was to really make Team Beachbody kind of the highlight piece over Beachbody. Now, with this closing in the spring, what that's really telling us is their dream of Team Beachbody really being, the highlight of the company has come to fruition. And because Team Beachbody has gotten so strong, they don't need Beachbody anymore. The infomercial business is kind of dying out. I don't know about you guys, but I hardly even watch any TV anymore, let alone commercials or anything like that. So really, online and I mean, look at 80 Day Obsession. there was no infomercial out there for 80-Day Obsession. And look at how that thing exploded. It's because of the coaching network and, social media, and the coaches getting it out there is why that became so successful, and even was picked up by the Today Show through the summer, being featured on there as a couple of people went through the program along with Autumn, and they kept flying her back and forth to New York, to kind of do check-ins with these people and put that on air. So, I think that's what we're really seeing here. And if you haven't been a coach for a long time, you might not understand the customer lead wheel. So when when you make Success Club and you're at least an Emerald coach, you get customer leads from Beachbody. And then if you get Success Club 5, it's a customer lead. And if you get Success Club 10, it's a Shakeology lead. So when you're making Success Club and are also an Emerald coach, you get these kind of extra customers given to you, just because you're meeting those requirements and showing that you're a working coach, you get these additional customers given to you. Now, they may not always be somebody you end up connecting with or anything like that, but if they ever purchase anything, you get the commission on it. And I can tell you, after, being in this business for 7 years, I've made quite a lot of commission off of these people who have been the customer leads that I've never done anything for, that Beachbody's given me. Now, they've come from Beachbody and the infomercials. So for example, if Dave, ordered online to do Beachbody on Demand, and Shakeology, he wanted to get a challenge pack, but he didn't have a coach, they would assign him a coach. And that customer lead wheel is where that kind of comes into play. So I might get Dave as my customer lead, and then I can email him and try to get in touch with him. Now, a lot of times that wasn't successful, or, people are like, who's this random person calling me? But again, even if they never contacted you back, they're still linked to you. And if they get Shakeology for 10 months, you're earning that commission for 10 months, whether you've ever spoken to them, Facebook message with them, or anything. So, it's kind of cool to be able to get that. But like anything else that had its barriers and things that were a royal pain. And if I had a customer that went on Beachbody.com and ordered something thinking that they were going to link up to me, it was a real pain to connect the two companies and get that order placed back. Also, with Beachbody.com, they would allow customers to do a payment plan, a 3-month payment plan. And if they didn't want to pay in full, you were not going to get that order. So, I've had a few times, say somebody wanted to order Pio, and I send them the link. They don't use the link. They go on Beachbody.com and they order Pio. And I'm like, okay, and they're like, oh yeah, I got Pio. I can't wait. It came today. I'm like, I didn't see that order come through. Can you send me the confirmation? Oh yeah, they ordered through Beachbody.com and they did the payment plan. So like I said, and they would end up having to pay in full if I was going to get the commission. And sometimes people didn't want to do that for financial reasons. So, that was a customer I got for Beachbody, but never got any commission from it because of just how that whole system worked. So there was, like I said, kind of a lot of things that could be a potential pain and detrimental, losing business for the coaches because of the two different companies and them not communicating back and forth in the system very well. So that's kind of, like I said, like a Cliff Notes version of that. So I'm projecting that there's going to be some changes in the customer lead program when they merge these two companies and how they're going to do that. I also think that there's going to just be some other changes in just how they do commissions and things like that. And I think we're already starting to see some of that. And one was that recent change where they decided now to let coaches buy challenge packs and completion packs, which has not been allowed. It's been like a big no-no for years. And, for those of us that are actively working our business and are loyal to Shakeology Monthly, it's really not a big deal. But these discount coaches who kind of flit in and out sometimes, it's a good way to kind of lure them back in. Like, hey, a new program's coming out. You already have Beachbody on Demand. Now you can get the performance line and add that in. Or you're drinking Shakeology already. This is a great way to be able to try the performance line. And if you decide to continue it, you will get the 25% discount in the future. So I think that there's a lot of great avenues for us. to get more potential sales because of the way they're restructuring this. So I don't want, you to think that Beachbody closing is a bad thing, because in all truth, I think it's going to be a phenomenal thing for us and only going to bring us more business, because they have to filter it through somebody now. It's not, if Beachbody.com is not there and that's going to field all the traffic to Team Beachbody, they're going to come to us, which is, like I said, really cool and really going to do a better job with linking people up to coaches. They're also trying to do, or they're supposedly have done away, at least in the US, with the US leads, with the do not contacts. So again, talking about those customer leads, sometimes we would get people, so give their name and what they ordered and all that, and then it would say do not contact. I'm like, oh, that's fabulous. So you're giving me this customer who've ordered Beachbody on demand, and now I can't talk to them at all and help them out in any way. Like, well, what's the point of assigning them a coach? So that, I guess a lot of the coaches have been beating Corporate's ear about that. Like, well, kind of saying what I said, like, what is the point here? Like, why are you giving us these leads that we can't do anything with? You want us to help these people and we're not able to help them. So somehow they've kind of reworked the system there. Again, I think this is coming off of these changes that are coming with Beachbody.com going away. And now in the US, they're able to remove that kind of do not contact piece. Now, from what I understand, because of some of the regulations in Canada and the United Kingdom, you will still see some of the do not contacts. I guess they have to go in and manually change that if they want to be able to have their coach contact them. Something weird, I don't know. But it's funny because Dave Ward posted about it in the Fit Club Network group, and he was like, oh, the contact should be gone. I'm like, yeah, I got one today. And actually I got one the day after too, which is really funny. So 2 days in a row, and I looked, and they were both Canadian leads. So that's why they were still showing up as a do not contact, because it was not a US-based lead. So just going over the coaches purchasing the challenge packs and completion packs, there is an FAQ. I did print it just to give myself a better understanding of kind of how it's all going to work. But starting October 1st, like I said, there will no longer be restrictions from purchasing challenge packs and completion packs. And it's really going to be the same thing like if you were doing an order for a customer. So if a customer already has Beachbody on demand, they will only be able to purchase the completion pack. If they don't have Beachbody on demand, even if they're a coach, they can buy a challenge pack. So to combine, the Beachbody on demand with either the performance line or Shakeology. So the difference, and Tammy, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this yet. Like sometimes these details, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't have time to understand this, and I really don't care. Just put the commission and volume where it needs to be. But right now, when the coaches purchase anything, we don't get any team volume and commission. Is that right?
No, when a coach,
am I saying that? No.
When a coach buys something, you don't get the retail commission. When the discount coach buys something, you just get team volume, which is a little bit less than personal volume. But
Okay.
It still helps if you're Emerald for cycle bonuses. So getting to Emerald and cycle bonuses is like where you start building your residual income. And
yeah, and I mean, I think that's a really good point too, is everything that I just really talked about, with all the commission structure and all that, you have to be an Emerald and Making Success Club. Yeah, I mean, to get those perks. And, if your goal is to really build a business, that's where your sights need to be set. Like kind of a non-negotiable. If I'm building my business, I need to be an Emerald coach and I need to be making Success Club every month. And like I said, I really believe going forward now with these changes happening, there's only going to be more and more benefit to us down the road for being Emerald, because that's showing that you're a working coach that's taking their business seriously, that you're actively working to build your business. If you can be an Emerald coach and not making Success Club, I mean, I have people on my team, and so does Tammy, who are still Emerald coaches because maybe they worked the business a few years ago and they had a whole bunch of people on their team. They might still have coaches that are working even though they've decided not to work their business anymore. But why is Beachbody going to want to give them customer leads when they're clearly not working their business? If they're not making Success Club, they're not working their business.
And just a little sidebar, like Beachbody has a long time ago, before they started implementing these things, that's exactly what was happening, is that all of these coaches had been at Emerald and they were earning upwards of like the maxing out at $250 a week, because that's what you can max out in Cycle Bonus when you're an Emerald coach. And they were maxing out every single week, but they weren't even working the business. Like they weren't hitting success. They weren't doing anything, and yet they were getting paid. And so that's why they initially came up with those, you have to be working your business. You have to be,
to get the customer leads.
To get the leads. Yeah.
Yeah, to get the leads. Like it didn't used to be you had to be making Success Club 5. It used to be you just had to be an Emerald coach. But then what they started realizing is there was a lot of coaches who were Emerald who weren't doing anything any longer with their business. Maybe they signed, their sister and their mom, and they're both drinking Shakeology. So guess what? That person's still an Emerald coach, but they're not doing anything with their business, and yet they're getting customer leads and they're not contacting them. So again, kind of going back to their goal with giving people customer leads was to try to help people to build their business. So, these different things have happened along the way. And I think what's really cool and what you'll see is corporate does listen to the coaches. And a lot of these changes that are coming are because of things that the coaches have asked for. Some of the things, changes in the Coach Online Office have been things coaches have asked for. Some of the changes with the lead program have been things that the coaches have asked for. Even qualifying for the Success Club trip. You used to be able to sign up for the Success Club trip and never even really make Success Club, or make it like, I forget, it was like a couple of months or something ridiculous. So again, people would just basically pay out of pocket to go on this trip, yet people who were working their business and making Success Club every month, if they didn't register on time or didn't get in, like couldn't go on the trip. Like I had a couple of friends that made Success Club for every single month of the year and didn't get on the Success Club trip because they didn't get off the wait list. And yet people who didn't even make Success Club all year, just happened to register on time, got to go. So people got really frustrated really quick with that. And so then they changed the criteria for the Success Club trip, where you had to at least be working towards Success Club, at different points during the year. You have to have so many points in order to maintain your registration. So, so go look at that thing, so you understand, about the challenge packs and completion packs. And if you have coaches on your team that have been inactive, this is a great way to re-engage people, especially with Transform 20 coming out in the beginning of the year, Proving Grounds coming up in October, and even just with Lift 4, we've gotten some great results on our team with that program. That's a great thing to kind of get some of these inactive people, these inactive discount coaches back in the game with a 4-day-a-week program. I love that program. That's just, I just love it. 4 days a week is working for me, working for my schedule right now in my busy life. So, all right. Okay. Oh, and then the last thing I just wanted to bring up is the Shift Shop Proving Grounds coming out. So, what's funny? I went back and I was looking at some old pictures, and, I was like looking, I was like, gosh, I was so, I'm like, oh, I was really lean. What program was I doing? And I went back and kind of looked at the dates, and I did the Shift Shop. And so that was a program like I had really good success with, and that it was stacked weeks. So it was like 25-minute workouts 1 week, then 35, then 45. So basically a 3-week program. And then basically, I think what they're doing, I'm not exactly sure because I haven't watched much about it yet, with the Proving Grounds is it's additional workouts. So you're still going back to that same original Shift Shop, the same original Shift Shop workouts. And then it's adding some in. So let me see if I can figure it out.
I think it's a Saturday, like kind of a fit test workout, I think is what I read. So the Saturday workout changed, and then they're giving you prep week and prep workouts or something like that, if I remember.
Yeah, they're doing, similar to what they did with 80-Day Obsession and Lift 4, like the Before Lift 4 and A Little Obsessed. They're doing something with Shift Shop. I can't remember what they call it. I read it, and daggone it, I probably printed the wrong thing. Oh well, that's just about how things are going these days. Okay. Okay, it's two new Proving Grounds workouts, updated Shift Shop recipe booklet. Oh, 2:15 quick shift. That's their pre-program is the quick shift. Available exclusively on demand. The new workouts include 2 15-minute quick shift workouts designed to prep you for Shift Shop and 2 Proving Grounds workouts to replace 2 routines each week that score your performance so you can prove your progress as you go. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to kind of see it's something new and different that they've done, like kind of adding on to an already done program. So, but I liked that workout. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
So I don't know. I may jump back into that. I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do. But so just kind of thinking through this stuff. And I want to talk a little bit just about like business planning. So let me see where we are time-wise. 9 o'clock. All right, I'll hurry up. So just from a business planning standpoint, kind of schedule these things out. Like even if you just have like a paper calendar, like a 12-month calendar where you can just go write in the things that are coming out, how long the programs are, just to kind of get that stuff on your calendar to get an idea of how you might plan things out. And then the time that you may need before to kind of start promoting it and talking about it, and how you're going to prepare to get people interested and engaged in what is up and coming. Shift Shop's probably a good one to do that with, going back into your office and looking at people who purchased that program, or if you have a list, like I know I have a list of people that did that program. I don't even know why I did that, but I wrote down everybody that purchased that particular program because it was a really good seller, and just keeping that list and then re-engaging with those people. So again, getting them into Beachbody On Demand, getting them into a completion pack if they still have BOD, or into one of these Shift Shop challenge packs or completion packs. And then also just, starting to follow Shaun T and watch what he's doing because they're filming Transform 20 now, and just start kind of looking for some of those teasers where you might be able to grab some information out of that to, just start kind of getting some ideas in your mind for that. I know I'm doing the 2B Mindset certification now. I actually have my call with Alana tomorrow. And then I've actually gone through all the training in the last 2 weeks. Since it got released, I don't know how I've gotten through all of it. That's what I do at soccer practice at night. I sit in the car and I listen to the training. I bring my notebook with me and I've been taking my notes, but that's how I've gotten it done. So, kind of think about how you're utilizing your time and using those pockets of time. I'm sitting in the car for an hour and a half waiting for my daughter at soccer practice, because if I drive home 20 minutes and drive back, I'm in the car for an hour, it just is a waste of time. So I figure if I can plan and bring something with me and get that done, then that's just only going to help me not have to stress about how am I going to get it done when I get home, just trying to utilize that time or making that list when I'm sitting in the car, scrolling through my Facebook and looking at my friends list and seeing who I might want to invite. That's how you can work your business in those little pockets of time. My schedule is so crazy right now with working with my regular job, trying to keep building my business with Beachbody. I have 2 very active children. My son is in baseball. My daughter's in travel soccer. She's also on the school soccer team. She also sings. And now she's doing honors chorus, does basketball clinics on the weekend. So it's just in 10,000 different directions. And so if I don't, it's kind of like the same thing with your meal planning. If I don't plan ahead, making that time for my business, it's not going to happen. So I have to make sure before I head out the door that I have, my notebooks with me that I want. And, you can always work from this. You can always work from your phone. And I'm good to go. So as long as I have a notebook on my phone, I'm good. I may even start bringing my computer with me and tapping into my personal hotspot to be able to do some stuff on my computer while I'm sitting at some of these practices and just using that time efficiently. And guess what? when I'm sitting there in my car, I have no distractions. If I try to do work at home, I'm on this, I'm over here, I'm distracted by this. Oh, I'm hungry. Let me go get a snack. You know, I mean, it's
Maybe I need to
ridiculous.
work from my car.
What's that? You need to work in your car.
Maybe I need to go to my car.
I'll tell you what, that's how I've gotten the whole 2B mindset training done in under 2 weeks, because it's kind of like when you go to work, like you're probably way more focused when you go to your job because you have to be. You know, there's nothing else to do. When you're at home and trying to work at your job, you're thinking about all the 9,000 other things around the house that need to be done and cleaned up and picked up, and, you know, the grocery shopping needs to be done. You know, you have to just try to treat it like you're going into an office, and, you know, everything shuts down for an hour until you can kind of get that stuff done. And it will still be there. Just like the laundry's still there when you come home from your day job. You know, if you sit down and work your Beachbody business for an hour, laundry's still going to be there when you get done. The dishwasher will still be there to get emptied and all of that. So, and I think that that's sometimes a mistake that we all make working from home, is letting ourselves get distracted rather than thinking about it in the manner of, this is my job that I'm sitting down to work for an hour, 2 hours, and that other stuff, you know, I'll get to it. Just like if I had to walk out my house and go, you know, to my job or to a job. So, you know, there was something else I wanted to talk about, the planning. Tag on it. I don't know. Anything you want to add in, Tammy?
No, I think you were well prepared. Like, I wasn't even exactly sure what we were going to do. So I'm glad you put that all together.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, you know, again, just kind of like looking at your calendar, you know, looking at those things to be prepared, thinking of how you can share different things, you know, on your social media. In one of the trainings that I'm doing right now, she challenged us to go live 100 days in a row on our Facebook. So I don't know if I'm going to get to 100 days, but I'm going to at least try to do, she challenged us to at least 5 through the rest of this challenge. And so it's really forcing me, you know, I get ideas in my head all the time, and I just never sit down to really film the video, you know, oh, it's not the right time, I can't see that, you know, so it's really making me do it. And you know, I think sometimes that's what we just need to do, is bite the bullet and do it. And, you know, this morning I went on my Facebook page and I just talked about, a guy I know commented on my Instagram yesterday about, don't I ever get tired? Like, does my body get tired working out so much? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm not superwoman. Of course, I'm almost 45 years old. Yes, my body gets tired. And I said, you know, that's one of the reasons I explained in the video. One of the reasons I switched to doing Lift 4 and doing a 4-day-a-week program was because I really felt like I needed it. And to be honest, when I did 80-Day Obsession, like, I felt beat. I mean, like, my body just felt beat. Like, I've never felt like that doing a program. And the funny thing is, I didn't really feel like I got all that great results from it, considering how beat my body felt. So, you know, and I think that that's important to understand too, that your body's going to respond differently to different programs. And it's okay if something doesn't work for you or you don't like it. Core to Force, I had to stop doing because I kept pulling my hip flexor with all the kicking and all of that. And I loved Core to Force, but that's just not my workout. T25 killed my knees and ankles. Like, I loved that, got fabulous results with it. You know, so, you know, you'll see these things happen. And, you know, I think one of the mistakes I've made is not talking about that kind of stuff along the way, you know, trying to, I don't want to say make everything look like sunshine and roses, but I think like that's our kind of go-to on social media, is put the good stuff out there and not necessarily talk about the maybe the negatives sometimes. So, you know, I went and talked about that today. Like, yeah, I felt really beat, and I'm not super, you know, none of us are superhuman. Like, we're human and nobody's immune. You know, yeah, okay, you see how I meal prep really well. Guess what? Some days it's not like that. You know, some days my meal prep is great, I'm on point. Some days I meal prep and then I don't want to eat what I prep because I'm like, I'm tired of vegetables. I'm tired of ground turkey. I don't want any more chicken. I just want some freaking pizza, you know, and that's what the reality is. And, you know, so I was talking about that today on my page, but again, just kind of something that I just don't think to talk about, you know, But those kind of things, I think, is what, we need to do. Just getting yourself out there on social media, getting yourself comfortable. And if you need to give yourself the 5-day or 100-day in a row challenge to get yourself comfortable talking, do it.
A 30-day team challenge. Go live for 30 days.
Yeah.
Do it.
I got day one done.
I did. I got day one done today. I might have went yesterday too. So.
Yeah.
Right. Who's in?
Does anybody have any questions or anything? I know I kind of ran through a lot of different things and talked about a lot of different things today. But, I think the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is set yourself up now. Like, there are big things coming with this change in Beachbody going away and Team Beachbody taking the forefront. And all it's going to do, I think, is highlight the business more for people who are working the business and really make it bigger and better for people who are putting the time, effort, and energy into building this business. And, if you're not at Emerald yet, get yourself to Emerald. If you're not making Success Club consistently, get yourself making Success Club consistently.
Got new bracelets in, so
that's your emeralds, the emerald bracelets. So that's really like the biggest thing is there. Like I said, there's big things coming, and we've seen so many of these changes over the years. And I just think this is going to be such a big change that's going to impact Team Beachbody and the coaching network in such a great way that you have to set yourself up to be able to take advantage of it. And they're only going to kind of help the coaches who are working the business build the business. And the way Beachbody gauges if you're building your business is if you're an Emerald coach and you're making Success Club. And if you're not those two things, no matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter if you're sitting at your computer doing 25 lives a week, if you're not getting the Success Club and being at least an Emerald coach, Beachbody isn't going to recognize that in kind of, the scheme of helping to build the business.
So if you're a new coach, what we do when you reach Emerald, for guys, we do something else. We just make you wear the bracelet.
Oh, Dave, you want to wear your bracelet?
I could take the heart off, maybe. No. But we give these. I've been doing this since I got my very first Emerald, and it's just a basic little Beachbody bling bracelet with a little heart. The heart's a little bit of a different color this time, but whatever. So yeah, but that's what it is. So get to Emerald and you get one of these. If anybody has a coach that hasn't got one yet, I was out for a while and I just got new ones in. I lost my girls' contact information, so I had to get them from somewhere else. So
does anybody have any questions about anything or anything they want to add? No?
Anybody? I was going to ask, we, with Lift 4 going into the library, are you guys just going to roll everybody into into your individual accountability groups, or is anybody doing like a group just for Lift 4? Anybody?
That's my intention, is to do a group for Lift 4 because, these people held out and, they deserve the same attention as the others. So I think I'm just going to put a big thing up there for,
Yeah, just in the team page, if you want to post, Leslie, post that there'll be a team one. Whoever wants to be part of it can be part of it. You don't have to be. Don't feel obligated. If you already have your groups going and everything's going well, don't feel obligated. But, that will be an option if you have people that want that kind of environment.
Great. I like the big groups for new programs, and this is really new to them. So for anybody that didn't or wanted to wait, we had people sign up and, because of Lift 4, but signed up knowing that they weren't ready for that or they didn't think they were.
I'm doing mine in a different way this time. I took everybody from that first group and then put them into the another group with kind of people who came on like the second month. And I'm organizing all my posts into the units because what I'm finding is that people, who misses a week, something happens, they shift around, somebody else wants to join. So rather than having them wait, I organize everything into units, and what I'm doing is I'm running through the 8 weeks, and I just said, just check in every night no matter where you are. but whatever day you're on, go into the units and find that post of the day. So I'm putting a little bit of ownership back on them, because honestly, I'm going to be straight up forward, like blatantly honest here. I'm sick and tired of spending all my damn time putting these posts up for people who don't freaking post and check in the damn group. So I'm going to have the post there, you know, and then I do a whole nother group, which is a lot of work and all that. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time for these people who don't want to commit. And if they want to commit, they'll go find the freaking post that they need to look at for that day. And it's funny because I talked to a guy today, he was having some medical issues and he was like, well, I'm going to restart Monday. He said, I got clearance from my doctor. Like, I'm okay. Should I start back with day one? And I said, yeah, because he's missed like 3 weeks. So I'm like, just go back to day one. And I said, go to the units. And he's like, oh yeah, I've already looked through there. So that's somebody who's interested and engaged, and like, they're going to go do that. And you just can't handhold everybody all the time, which is what I feel like I've been doing for so long. And I'm just tired of it, to be honest, that I put all this time, effort, and energy in it and trying to like spoon feed them the posts every day. And I'm like, you know what? You can check in at night. And if you want your post for the day, for your day that you're on, go to the units and find it. Like, it's nice and neat and organized.
Let me just throw this out there. We have the Lift 4 group that we did already.
Mm-hmm.
All the posts are in there. What if we went in, I could do it, like, or I could have Kendall.
It's a pain
to go through and just, you know, add the post to the units.
It's a pain in the ass, but it's
but the posts are already there. I'm gonna go
right. But it's just still a pain to organize it. And it's just time consuming. You know what I mean? It's just it's a time suck, you know? And so that's why I'm just trying it out with this to see if it's less of a time suck than reposting it in Buffer. So I have this website called Buffer that you can put your posts in. And then if I do another Lift 4 group, I can go back into my original group and it'll say rebuffer the post. I just click rebuffer. I click what group I want it to post in and schedule it, rather than having to copy, paste, find the graphic and all that again. It just rebuffers the post for me. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. But like I said, then I had like 4 groups going, 3 different groups for Lift 4. And I'm like, oh my God, did I post for the week? Where did I post? Where did I not post? I'm like, I'm not doing that. You know, so this is the first time I'm going to do it this way and kind of see how it works. So far, so good. And I have people at all different avenues. But like I said, you're going to have your people who are not going to look at the damn post no matter what, who are going to follow the whole program through. Then you're going to have people who will read every post and not do a workout. Yeah, and so if they're into it, the information is there and they can find it. And it's less work for me.
So I'm doing a little something different this time. And this came from wanting to challenge my challengers. I have a lot of people on Beachbody On Demand, but a lot of women who have repeated or started and stopped and started over again the 21-day fix about 1 million times in my ongoing challenge group. So I went live in my ongoing challenge group the other day and said, as of Monday, the 24th, this group is turning into a Lift 4 challenge group. I am challenging each and every one of you with Beachbody On Demand to take on this challenge and do this new program for 8 weeks with us. If you're doing another program that you're already committed to, no worries. We'll still have our nightly check-ins, but this group 100% is converting over. That way, I know that we have at least the next 8 weeks set to take us into, you know, the beginning of the holiday season, and then I'll probably do some kind of like shift shop or something for that December, whenever it is. What do I do before Christmas and in between, you know, here and there. But trying to actually take those people who trusted me enough to get Beachbody On Demand with me, you know, at different points and saying, let's actually start and finish this program together now. I will still have my Lift 4 group that started like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm on like, I've done 3 different waves of Lift 4 so far. So that's a separate group and that's already like done and scheduled. But I thought this was a really great way. Like if you have an ongoing group to re-engage people and know that everybody's in one place. And again, like you said, Michelle, like some people are going to read every post and do nothing. Other people aren't going to read anything and you're going to check in with them in 8 weeks and they're going to be like, yeah, here I am. I lost 12 pounds and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, awesome. But at least I know that I put that challenge out to you. You know, you waited, you saw us go through it. I've been sharing some pictures in there. So that's just, you know, that's what I'm doing to keep keep all my people in one place still.
Yeah,
And
I like that
you said,
idea.
I have everything in Buffer, so I'm just gonna rebuffer it, and they can keep up with it. The posts are motivating. There's some recipes in there. I'm gonna give it a try, and just see it. It beats every 3 weeks reloading new content and being like, okay, guys, what are you starting now? And then being like, 21 Day Fix again. Me being like, come on, challenge yourself, try something new. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
I like that. Anybody else have something that they're doing that they want to share? Or I'm using the app right now. I'm trying the app again for the same reason that Michelle, when you're doing Buffer, I'm using the app. I just started it, but I'm doing themed groups. So I'm just going to have like 4 or 5 themed groups that I'm going to rotate through the year. And then maybe do like something like that, like a Lift 4 group or something at some point. Because it's easy to schedule within the app and I still have my ongoing group on Facebook, but I'm just not posting in there as much because it's like crickets in there. I've got like 2 people that post. I'm just like, okay, at least in the app, I can message them on a group message and I can see if they log their Shakeology and if they worked out. So I'm going to go.
How long about are your themed groups going to be, Tammy?
I'm only doing month-long ones.
Okay.
And I'm using the like the pre-done stuff that I found on that I shared with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then they'll just be in there. They'll be loaded, and I'll just rotate through them. Like I'll always do a fit for fall.
Yeah.
Always do a New Year one I find. So that's how I'm trying to make my life easier because it does get overwhelming. Like. I think find something that works for you, and then I've been so guilty of trying so many different things, and I look back now, like all these years later, and I'm like, why didn't I just keep doing that when I first started coaching? The very first thing I did was a 5-day slim down, like a free clean eating 5-day slim down. Like all these years later, I should have just kept doing that because Megan Eggleston, I think is her name, that's what she's done. And she's continued to do those free groups exactly the way that I was doing them way back in the day. But I had to go and like try all these different ways of doing it. So if you're a new coach, like I challenge you to try to do something and then just keep doing it. Like if you want to do a free group, make it the same thing, but just like continue to improve it, So I don't know. That's just something I realized being a coach for so long. Don't try and reinvent the wheel every single time. It's exhausting. So as I'm making Beachbody Bling bracelets, because we're gonna have a lot of emeralds. I can feel it. Seriously, all you guys and all your coaches need to go emeralds so we can all be at Summit together with our Beachbody Bling bracelets. I'm envisioning it.
I'll wear mine to Arizona.
Yes. And we're gonna go. I'm taking you to True Foods Cafe.
Yay!
So
I booked a trip to Arizona right before we got on the call tonight. Me and G are going out.
Friday.
Yay!
All right.
In a month and a half. Yay! 2 months. Yeah.
Anybody have other questions? Comments?
Awesome. Thanks for getting on, guys.
I can't remember who's on next week. I have the schedule done.
Wait. I had it. Hold on.
Oh, it's Amanda. That's right. She's doing.
It's Amanda.
Amanda,
it's you.
It's me. We're doing like a tips for ending the month strong.
Awesome.
All right, you guys. Thanks, you guys, for jumping on.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle.
No problem. See ya.
Have a good night.